really glad to welcome you today with us. Today we will talk about important topics, namely sanitary pads made from banana fibers, social business, youth leadership, and startups. Today's discussion is led by Alexandra Fomin, Kectil colleague, Ukrainian startup entrepreneur, business mentor, and accountant in one person, and CEO and founder of ECO-BANA Limited, a social enterprise that manufactures biodegradable sanitary pads using banana fibers, Lennox Omondi. So therefore, sit down more comfortably, get ready to notice a lot, and also do not forget to subscribe to the Kectil program channel and put like to this video. It's important for us to see your support. Well, Lennox, it's pleasure to welcome you today, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to not only share your business story, but also to talk about the problems your business is solving.
Thank you so much. I'm so much happy and glad to be speaking here today and, to be able to talk to you about my work at ECO-BANA Limited. So my name is Lennox Omondi. I'm the founder and chief executive officer at ECO-BANA Limited, a social enterprise that manufactures biodegradable sanitary towels using banana fibers. So today I'm so much honored to join you, Alexandra, in this interview as we talk about my journey as an innovator and also in business. And it was so much a pleasure to have met you this year at the Kectil program, which is one of the phenomenal programs that give young leaders from developing countries a platform to talk about their leadership structures, talk about things that really matters and how we can create a better world for our community. And that is also the same thing that I'm doing at ECO-BANA Limited. I created this company to help me solve period poverty in Africa. A research done by the UN shows that 65% of the Kenyan girls and women don't have access to clean and affordable menstrual products. So coming up with EcoBana, I just made sure that how can I change the world? How can I bring this product to girls and women, which is affordable and also which is environmental friendly. So that's how I created EcoBana Limited, to be able to impact more than 1 million girls in Kenya. And I'm so happy to be here today to share about my innovation journey, lessons I learned, the things I've achieved, and also the milestones that we've had as a company.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Lennox, for that sharing. In preparation for today's conversation, I reviewed all the information about your company, about you even, and that I found on the internet. But one of the last things that I remember is that you are a person from the Forbes list. Can you please share the story of how you managed to become a member of Forbes? What was the most difficult thing along the way in your life and even business?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think growing up, I've always wanted to be a business person. What I didn't know is that I would be a business person in the sector of, providing safe and hygienic menstrual products for girls and women. And so growing up, when I was a child, I used to see my sister and even other girls don't go to school, but I couldn't understand why are they not going to school for a certain week in every month. So this really, I didn't get the point there. But after joining the university, I realized that there are a lot of problems that are entangling not only societies, communities, and even families, not only in Kenya, but also around the world. Because if 65% of Kenyan girls and women don't have access to clean and affordable sanitary towel, that is a huge problem. So when I joined the university, I started doing a lot of volunteering work. And every time I used to volunteer, every time I go to these communities, I listen to stories, I listen to the problems they face. One problem that was repetitive was lack of access to menstrual products. And most of the girls and women, they don't go to school, they don't go to work. And some women and girls use things like rugs, chicken feathers, soil as their best definition of sanitary towel. So that really challenged me. And I created this company, ECO-BANA Limited, where we harness the underutilized resource, which is banana fibers, to create this product. And so being on the Forbes list, that was like 1 week ago, I've always dreamt about being for the Forbes, because most of all of my mentors that I look up to, people I learn from in business, in leadership, they're all in Forbes. And one of them is Tony Lumelu. Tony Lumelu, a great leader here in Africa who is supporting entrepreneurs. So when I made it on the Forbes on last week, on the African honorees, I was so, like, my energy got rekindled, and I was so happy as a person, because all the work that I've been doing are not only helping me to solve societal problems, but they're also helping me to achieve my dreams, to achieve my goals. And one way or another, this is happening through the initiatives that I've been able to create. And so making it on the Forbes last week has been my really, really great achievement this year. Because even my company, we have had great achievements. We've raised $1 million from the Kectil, from the Hard Price Foundation last year. We have built a new manufacturing facility. We are now producing more than 2 million pads to the Kenyan girls and women. We are partnering with the government to make sure that all the girls in the rural schools have access to menstrual products. So for me, getting into the Forbes is a step into the realization that the work that I'm doing is being noticed by somebody, that the work I'm doing is being appreciated by somebody. And that gives me more energy to continue doing what I'm doing and to continue impacting, to continue to be an inspiration to young people. Because I believe that the work that I'm doing, and even to me personally, I'm a beacon of hope to young entrepreneurs in Kenya, to young entrepreneurs in Africa, to continue solving our problems, provide good innovative solutions that can drive business, that can also drive a positive impact. Yep.
Wow, that's really great. I one more time congrats you with this because I'm so happy for you, and I'm sure that your business is really impactful and your story really impressed. And I'm sure that after this video, everyone was inspired and motivated to start their own impactful business for their community, their countries, not to stop on this way and change the world for the better. I even remember, my impression, my first impression when I first time heard your story, because myself work in the direction of sustainable business. And after your presentation, I even had the idea to offer my role in your team and help make an impact for all women and girls in your country. And I think all our viewers have a question in their minds. Why exactly women and girls became the target audience of your idea? What exactly inspired and continues to inspire you in working on your business? Maybe you will be able to share more from challenges side, because you mentioned statistics, you mentioned other things, but what exactly was the fourth step that you did for that, and what challenges you met during the conversations with women and girls when you develop your prototypes and your first products, when you prepare to start up pitching and so on? Could you please share more details about that?
Yeah, so my passion for creating ECO-BANA Limited, I'll give a little bit of a background of what really, really inspired me. Because saying that growing up, I used to see my sister not going to school sometimes of the month, and even some of her friends. I didn't understand, well, why are they not going? I felt like my sister had a privilege of, while I'm going to school, then she's just staying at home. But then I came to realize that in 2020, in October, when COVID had hit, as people were rushing to get supplies, shops were being closed, and the country is almost going into a full lockdown. There was this particular mother in the northeastern part of Kenya, in Marsabit County, who was sewing a new kind of sanitary towel, and she was awarded an accolade for her humanity, because he was making sanitary pads made of feathers and rugs so that her daughters could go to school and finish the examination. So, as a young entrepreneur, when I heard that and I watched that news and I listened to that story, it really rekindled that, I want to help this. I want to find a solution for this problem. And so that is where I developed my passion. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have a heart for the world, and I also have a mind for the business. And the problem that girls and women are facing when they are on their menstrual periods is is very big. It's not only here in Kenya, but also all over the world. If people are not having access to safe, hygienic menstrual products, because I believe menstruation is not only for girls to solve. I think it's something that everybody should be able to solve. Period poverty. This is a conversation that all of us, both males and females, should have a piece of a pie to talk about it. And so being able to solve this problem and start a business by it was mostly inspired by, in Kenya, the conventional sanitary towels are 95% plastic, an equivalent of four plastic bags in just one sanitary towel. So these are huge mess, not only to the environment, but it also causes other diseases to girls, like itching and irritation. And so I was also inspired by how can I bring to life a solution that not only solves period poverty, but also conserves the environment. And that's why I decided to bring in a new product, be able to train girls and women, to give them job opportunities, to create for themselves the same opportunities that they wanted. And so they're creating a solution for themselves and also by themselves. So that is just my passion, to be able to see that as I am doing this, I'm not doing this for myself, but I'm doing this to help other people. And those people are also doing it to help these other people that are coming. And so providing this solution, being able to see smiles on the faces of the girls who can't access sanitary towels each and every day. We go to schools, we go to rural communities, and we give our sanitary towels. I'm overjoyed, and it's so nice to see somebody being happy because of the product that you're bringing into the market that are helping them to solve a problem they had. Some girls even exchange, get into sex so that they can get parts. Some are not even excluded. Some are even excluded from the communities. Some girls are being told that if you are on your menstrual period, you should not even eat with people in the same table. And so to me, these are some of the things that I'm trying to eradicate. Some of these norms that are still entangling our community, some of these things that are still happening are what I really, really want to change. And I really want to make sure that by the time I'll be done, I hope I will be done, I'll be able to say that I did this and I changed this and I saved the lives of more than 1 million people, not only in Kenya, but also around the world. So that is my passion, that is my inspiration, to empower the next generation of girls and women. And not only girls and women, we're also working with boys, men, because most of these communities, men are the ones who make decisions, and meaning that they're the ones who are having the power to influence policy. So we also train them on the importance of observing some of these menstrual hygiene policies, and also how to regulate them to make sure that not only do women get to get a better life when they're on their periods, but they also get to get a good product which is going to really help them in the near future. So that is the passion, the inspiration. That's why I'm doing what I do.
Wow, really impression vision and mission that you're doing for your people, from not only people from your country but also all people around the world. And you know what I'm thinking, that the core thing for this problem is taboo in African society, in Europe society, and other communities around the world. So also I would like to write this question for you, because if we talk about taboo topics in society, in many people of the world, taking about menstruation in girls is a taboo. It's not a tough taught in families in some countries. There is still the fact that man society refuses to even come into contact with a girl or woman who has menstruation. And I know that your team also struggles with the stereotypes and such taboos in your country. Could you please elaborate on how you create a comfortable environment for open discussion and trainings for such women and men? Do you involvement in this process, or even guys from schools? And is it difficult to work with men and women for whom the topic of menstruation is taboo still in our century?
Yeah, sure. Because I think most of the people that influence policy, just as I said, are men, and they're the ones also who are living in these same communities. So when I realized that I can't mostly focus only on women without tackling the root cause of the problem, then I won't get anywhere. So we have a male inclusion program that teaches elderly men, young men that are still growing up, young boys in schools, in primary schools, in high schools, in the colleges, the universities, and even men with families on the male inclusion program. We make sure that we not only talk about the archaic taboos, but we try to remove them from the society. It's a process, yes, but having males included, and because you can ask somebody that, have you ever bought a menstrual product for your daughter or even your wife? The answer will be straight, no, I've never done it. But if you ask them why, they say, as men, we should not be associated with such things. As men, you should not be able to be seen even doing that thing. So that norm that they have is what we as EcoBANA Limited are trying also to eradicate. We have educational program that anytime we go to a community, we try to understand, first of all, the view of these men. Why do they still believe in these taboos? Why do they still believe in these norms? Because as much as we're doing this, we also don't want we also don't want to get into conflict with the cultural values. We want to maintain the cultural values. We want them to still be able to respect girls and women. So what we do is we train them, talk to them about why do you still believe in it, and how do you say if we do it this way? What about eradicating such norms like if a girl is on their menses, they should not eat with people in the same tables. Why? If so, we are trying also to change that narrative, but we are tackling the problem through its root cause. So the mindset is also a key thing. We go to school, we try and change people's mindset. We try to bring them a new view of the world because the world is now changing. The world is growing. The population is growing. Technological advances is growing. So we also need to abolish the old ways to be able to live in the present world. So that is what we are doing with males because they're also easy for most of them who are in political position, leadership positions in our communities to influence policies that will help girls and women to complete schools, to get job opportunities, to create a future and a dream for themselves. Yeah.
Wow. Well, really impressive for me. And, I'm one more time just fall in love in your EcoBana because first time it was in Atlanta when I heard first time the story.
Yeah.
And now when we talk about such question and more deeper about this topic, so I'm really impressive, and just let me know if you need any kind of support. I will be ready even in volunteering basis.
Of
So
course.
yeah. Okay, we create one more deal here in our interview. But
Of
first,
course.
for many of our viewers listening to us today, they dream of creating the same successful social business that you managed to build. Therefore, I was very interested in how the process of building your company went from the idea to today's sales. I mean, sales what you're selling right now, and have you connect with your customers, have you talk with your customers, and so on. But at the same time, I would also like to hear what was the most difficult in this way, and as an example of legislation process, patenting, on other bureaucratic procedures that you went through.
Yeah, I think when I first set my mind that I'm not only going to solve a problem, but I'm going to create a social enterprise that's not only going to make sales, but it's also going to employ people. There are some of the things I didn't know because I wasn't from the business world. Because what I'm doing in the university is nursing, being a nurse. But then now I said, how can I use the skill sets that I have to start doing a business and a social enterprise? And it wasn't easy because when we started, I could tell some people that, I have this great idea that I want to do ABCD. I want to use banana fibers to create sanitary towels for girls and women. And I could tell them that, well, we're going to make a lot of money. And people will say, no, that's a lie. You can't make it. And when I started making these prototypes of the sanitary towel, even people could call me and my teammates partner. But I later came to realize some of not good ways of doing business because I started saying that if I need to start a good business, what are some of the things that I need to know? Because I didn't have a mentor at that time, but now it required me to have a mentor, somebody who can guide me on how I was doing business, somebody who guided me on how I needed to register the company, somebody who gave me insights of what the do's and the don'ts of a social enterprise, of how to create that business. I think one of the first steps that you need to have a mentor, somebody who you can talk to, somebody who is always there to support you, give you insights on how to run a business. And after that, you need to develop passion for the problem that you're trying to solve. If you're solving a problem for your community, fall in love with the passion. Don't fall in love with the business. Fall in love with the passion, because that will give you the motivation, the drive to continue doing what you want to do, to wake up each and every day and provide that solution to your community. And also, the next thing is being able to know the trends of business in the world. If the technology is changing, the advancements of the world is taking shape, everything is changing. We also need to know what are the do's, the don'ts, how should I do business, how should I relate with my customers, do I understand the problem from its root cause, and the solution that I'm providing. Is it the solution that my customer needs, or is it the solution that my customer wants? So for me, I was solving the problem and providing a solution that my customer needs. It's not what they want, but it's what they need for them to be able to have a safe and a menstrual cycle. And so these are some of the things that I really learned, but also knowing that entrepreneurship or business is not it's not an easy journey. It's always steps. So I was inspired by this quote that said, as long as you can see, it doesn't, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Take the first step and do it. Take the first step and believe in the idea that you have it. Take the first step and believe that the solution that you're providing to the world is a solution that is going to change not only the lives of 10,000 people, but the lives of 1 million people around the world. So by me taking that first step, give me an insight of, I learned how business is being run in my country, in Africa, all over the world. And that gave me an open view. In Kenya, we say, if I'm solving a problem, I'm thinking global, but the solution is a local solution, meaning not only can it be done in my country, it can be scaled in other countries around the world. I can scale my business. It's a viable solution. It's a feasible solution. So those are some of the things that I really learned through the way as I was building the social enterprise that is called ECO-BANA Limited today. Yeah.
Great. Great. I already inspired to get grant for one more social solution that I have in my mind regarding culture heritage where I live right now, and culture heritage in Ukraine. But you also mentioned previously that you won a grant for starting the manufacturing process, and as I remember, it was around $1 million, if I am not mistaken. Could you please
Yes, to
tell us?
$1 million.
Wow, great. I also would like to be in that winner place, but maybe in the near future I will be, we'll see. So could you please tell us in more details how do you manage to find this program? What the selection conditions were there? Have you prepared for the presentation, or maybe you can share some advices how to do it in a better way, in what to pay attention in that, and so on.
All right. And so I will say that when I started the company in 2020, I did all the research, did all, business analysis. I did all the stuff. I wrote the first proposal. I went to pitch my idea in an organization called Enactors. So Enactors is a global organization that gives university students around the world a platform to solve one of the world's most pressing problems. And I failed at Enactors because, one, I didn't have a team. Two, I didn't have a prototype. So to me, I went back and did form a team. I formed a team of young, passionate, resilient, and visionary entrepreneurs just like myself. And so when I had this team, one of my team members in early January in 2022 received an email from the Hart Prize Foundation. And so the Hart Prize is a worldwide organization that gives university students around the world each and every year one company $1 million prize if they solve a theme, And so last year, the theme was, is your company able to employ 2,000 people by 2024 and bring back the jobs that people lost during the COVID era? And so when we received this email, it was more over there. It was an invitation to solve an existing problem in our society. And I said to myself that we have a solution to a problem in society. We have the pain. We can do it. Can we do it? And so my team and I registered to the first step of the competition of the hard prize, is to compete in your campus level. If you win in your campus level, you go next to the regionals level. And so when we won in our campus, we went to the regionals in South Africa. And being in the regionals in South Africa, we met 64 teams from around Africa that were pitching their business ideas. Being in this pool with 64 companies just pitching their ideas really made me think that I'm not the only one who is solving or who is doing something in their communities, but there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are waking up to call to action, who wants to see the better future, who wants to be the future. And so we competed against 64 teams, and we pitched our idea in 5 minutes, and we won. That gave us a chance to go to the Global Accelerators, which was in Boston, Massachusetts, the same year. And so when we went to Boston, we were 28 teams. And being there, we learn about business incubation, we learn about leadership, we learn about market, how to talk to your customers, the customer segments, the customer engagement. It was just this accelerator program that gives you business incubation, mentoring, one-on-one with experts who are in the fields of business, finance, sales, and marketing. So that gave us really great avenue to understand how we're going back to do business in Kenya. And so with the 28 teams in Boston, only 6 teams were needed to proceed to the global finals, which was to take place at the Clinton Global Initiative in New York City at the Harper's Foundation finals. And so we were announced position 2. We made it to the top 6 finalists as position 2. And so we went to the global finals the same year, last year in September. We went to New York City. When I was there, my mom sent me a message and said, New York City is a jungle of dreams. That is where the dreams are being made. So when we went to New York, full of inspiration, full of passion, full of strength, just to be able to pitch our business idea. And so when we pitched our business idea in New York at the Clinton Global Initiative in front of the 42nd President of the US, Bill Clinton, pitched in 4 minutes, gave a 4-minute Q&A also, and then at the end of the day, we will announce the winners for the $1 million prize. So that has always stayed on my mind. Each and every time I look at those photos when we were celebrating after winning, I'm always basking into joy because they serve as a journey of where we've come from. They serve as what I've learned through the journey from innovation to the step of starting to form a team, going through the accelerator program and being able to now get a seed funding for us to bring our dream into a reality. And so that is how we won and got the prize. It wasn't an easy walk.
Put somewhere photos about your winning there, somewhere there, or somewhere.
It's really nice. It's really fulfilling to do something for the almost 2 years. Then at the end of the year, you win a prize dedicated to the company to build that factory, to build the manufacturing facility, to turn that dream now into a reality, to help many girls and women in our community. So it has always been very fulfilling for me and my team, winning $1 million prize last year. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I have one more question related to that. You mentioned your team, that you participated this grant program together with team. Could you please share how it was finding members for the team? It was easy or difficult? And how many people do you have right now in your team?
I mean, it's very difficult to find somebody who wants to believe in a vague idea. I will say so, because when I went to approach my fellow classmates in the university, telling them that, hey, I have this crazy idea. I want to employ people, but I want to do it while I want to solve a problem. And so I thought, okay, which problem do you want to solve? Then I tell them, period poverty. Then they are asking me, what is period poverty? And so I just try to tell them that this is a problem that is entangling a lot of girls and women in our communities and in our societies, in our families. People miss to go to work at school. Then they said, oh, so you want to provide a product for girls? Oh, which product? Then I tell them, I want to provide parts. They were like, no, you're a pod boy now. We will call you that. So having a team that really believed in what I wanted to do wasn't easy because I had to interview, not interview, but explain to somebody in easy steps that, okay, this is why I want to do it. I believe in it. And so what I did was to really, the people whom I interacted with, people who started and tried to believe in my idea, those are the people that really sticked with me to the last stage when I was now forming the team. They became part of ECO-BANA Limited, and that they've always been, I usually describe them as visionary, resilient, and optimistic. There's no any other word that I can use, but they're people who really understood my vision, and we are changing the world together with them today at EcoBana Limited, and we've been able to employ over 17 workers who are working in our manufacturing facility in Kisii County, where we've built the facility. And so growing this team from 4 people to 17 plus people, because we also create employment to people who bring fibers, the farmers, those people who come and buy the product from us, take to the NGOs and other people. Building this ecosystem, this movement of people who believe in changing the world and reimagining the sanitary industry has just been phenomenal. That is what I really love about the team. Yeah.
Really inspired because I remember when I started to work with my first team and we started also without nothing. Our actions were based only on the idea and motivation, and we worked only on volunteering basis. So yeah, I I completely understand how it was for you, and I really proud that right now you have quite a huge team, I would say. For
Yes.
how long you work with your business? I guess 2 or 3 years, right?
2 years, 2 years now.
Wow, 2 years even. That's too much, I would say. That's really, really impressive for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your advices and warnings regarding grants, regarding entrepreneurship, and so on. It is really very valuable for us. We have already discussed work and social business with you from the beginnings of the idea to its implementation. Then I would be very interested to talk with you about management, scaling, and development of social entrepreneurship, as with a businessman, as well as about leadership. But before that, our dear viewers, subscribers, I would like to remind you that you can find detailed information about Lennox and his EcoBana in the description of this video below. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and write in the comments your thoughts about stereotypes in society about menstruation. Do they teach and talk about it openly in schools? Or do you have some kind of such taboos in your society? We will be glad to read and respond to your stories. Well, we are moving on to the topic of business and its development. You know, Lennox, I would actually like to start with my own story now because I have been working in business for more than 3 years, launched my own startup, and now work with dozens of clients in business consulting. And from my own experience and cases, I will say that business development, management, and scaling and also marketing things are among the most painful topics and requested among business owners. It would seem that even with business education, we are not always able to work on the development of our own business. It's quite hard for us, even with the experience and background. And usually the problem lies not so much in business processes as in the number of customers, successful competitors at the same time in the market, and in general the setting of the company's work system. Based on all of this, what do you think are the basis of the development and scaling of social business? Do you have any plans for your company right now? How you see development and scaling your own business? Yes, you mentioned that you would like to scale to other countries, to other markets. So could you
Yes.
share more details? How do you think about that? And what's the challenges for you right now in that?
Yeah, because we have done a feasibility study, like in, because right now in I think 3 countries in Africa, that is Uganda, Nigeria, and Rwanda. We were just looking at what are um, the entry points of the market. How are we going to make sure that when we go to another country to do business, when we go to provide this solution, they're going to accept it. So we've done a study in Uganda, Rwanda, and Nigeria, and we really believe now as a team that when the right time comes, after we launch and go public in Kenya, we are now able to go and also explore those countries. There's immense number of banana fibers in those countries. In those countries, there's a lot of business opportunity. There's a lot of pain in those countries, and that's why EcoBANA was created. It's a movement that is able to liberate girls and women across Africa. And so I know business management, sometimes it might be very difficult for a startup, but I mentioned that get somebody, get like a mentor, get like an advisor. EcoBANA has an advisory board. It doesn't have to say that we have an advisory board because they help us to analyze the market, to make decisions. They analyze us to know what is the right time to do ABCD, what is the right time to market the product, when should we do this, why are we doing this business now, why the solution now, why team, why EcoBana Limited. So having this all sorts of guidance can be able to help an entrepreneur or a social entrepreneur to make informed decisions. And even if you want to scale, what are the don'ts and the don'ts of scaling? So some of these things are also being um, easy if you have guidance, if you have somebody holding your hand, a mentor, an advisor, somebody just helping you each and every day to make sure that you make the right decisions for your business. And so our plan for scaling in the next in the next 3 or 2 years, we'll be able to scale in 2 African countries as we still continue, as we enter the new markets, as we enter the new countries, we'll continue to make sure that our impact is not only positive, but we are also able to create job opportunities for girls and women in those communities. Yeah.
Wow, great, great. But you know what I'm thinking? Not all small and medium businesses or even startups have opportunity to get mentorship or to get some kind of consultant that will help them because it is so expensive. So, what would you advise for this people, for these owners who just step in that journey and still don't have some kind of guider in that journey?
So one of the ways of to get information, uh, we are all living now in a digital world, and for me, I got a lot of this information on business and how to manage a social enterprise from accelerator programs. One, I will mention a few. The HALT Business School offers an accelerator program, which is for free for entrepreneurs who already started doing something. The Watson Institute, through their Venture Accelerator program, they offer accelerator program. They teach entrepreneurs how to do business, how to scale up, how to identify a problem using design thinking process. And even the Kectil program, because I met Kectil in Kenya during one of the business incubation programs, which was happening in Kenya. That's how I became part of this amazing leadership opportunity. And so learning how to do or learning how to identify a problem using design thinking is like the first step for somebody to create a social enterprise. And going through the human-centered design also gives you more insights on how to utilize the available resources in your community to solve the problem. So I would recommend that one of the best or the good ways to learn about all these do's and don'ts about businesses is to listen or to seek help from these accelerator programs. Apply the accelerator programs, be part of the programs, learn as much as you can. And also you can be learning from somebody who's already doing business. Have a mentor, somebody who you can see and say, I want to do better than you are doing it right now. Teach me, help me. It doesn't have to tell somebody, teach me something. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays, as the founders, we really think that we know everything. And so each and every moment somebody's not ready to get feedback, not ready to listen to the customers, you eventually at some point you're gonna fail. But what we do is we have our customer interests at the palm of our hands. So each and every feedback that we get each every day from our customers, we make sure that we utilize it. We make sure that we correct those feedbacks. If they're positive feedbacks, we make sure that we continue to engage with our customers, strengthen our customer relations, and build a strong business brand that people can resonate with. So that is what I can say on how to build a successful social business, and also where somebody can get those skills of management. Even if you're not in the business world, you can access these programs online, and they can help you to strengthen your skills of business, managing your enterprise, and also even getting funding, grants, seed fundings, and that can open a new avenue for somebody building a social enterprise to be able to make more money, do more business, and impact the world. Yes.
Thank you for such valuable advice for everyone. I guess that everyone started to look for some kind of acceleration program. And yeah, our dear friends, we also will leave some acceleration program links in the description of this video. So you will be able to find some really useful for you there. And in the same discussion with you, Lennox, I would like to talk with you about the management system that is managed by ECO-BANA. What helps you right now to manage such a successful social business, except advisors from consulting maybe firms or some hires? And maybe you will be able to share some recommendation for courses or books that also help you to achieve this successful social business.
Yeah, I think what really has helped me to manage the enterprise is building a positive and effective work culture. So I and my team and I have created this environment, a conducive environment that is inclusive to each and every person in the society to be able to work. You know, it's a positive work culture that gives you that opportunity to come to work not being judged, to build a solution, to create this product for the girls and women. And also, apart from just having a positive work culture, what has really helped me, one of the books that I really like is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is a book that has really helped me to make decisions. A book that has really helped me to work on some of the habits. So 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a good book that can really guide an entrepreneur, because these 7 habits, if practiced well, they inform part and parcel of each and every day life, not only of an entrepreneur, but also anybody in the world. So to me, I found them helpful, and they've really helped me and my team to manage our enterprise, and also with the positive and effective work culture that we have created at EcoBana Limited has helped us to maintain our relationship with the workers, with the customers, with our partners, with the NGOs. Everybody that comes into EcoBana always leaves with a smile. And so that is what we're truly also passionate about, that we have created a good work culture and we have effective habits that are helping us to manage the enterprise. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, now I would like to read this book for myself, to be honest, because I have never ever read that. So you know what else I would like to hear from you? And
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe how can somebody buy EcoBana products, and
yeah,
or
could you please tell us more about that? And in addition to that, can you please share your business plans for the future? And maybe are you going to scale your team? Because I'm still thinking about to be the part of your team.
Yeah, so because we got a partnership opportunity with the Ministry of Education here in Kenya through the Kenyan president, the 5th president of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. So our team is expanding as we still expand the EcoBana stations that are producing sanitary across the country. We are creating more new employment opportunities. So that is one of our plans that we have, is to expand in as many regions in Kenya and reach many schools and many rural communities and even the urban areas in a vast, large numbers as much as we can. And somebody might be also wondering, how can I get the product? So we have a website, www.ecobana.co.ke. Somebody can create an account there, can add a product to into the cart, and they can easily order. But right now, we've not started to export out of the country because we're still understanding the market gap and the market need for the product. So in Kenya, it's easily to be done, but I also have a vision that before you become part of the team, we will be able to order EcoBANA and receive it in Ukraine. And so I'm looking forward to that day.
I will be first customer.
I'm looking forward to that day when somebody will order and get the product in Ukraine, in Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, the US, and even in Asia. And so we are getting there soon enough.
Oh, I have one more interesting question about that because is it easy to order your product to Europe countries? Because right now I'm living in Lithuania, so if so, I will be able to order it from from your manufacturing, I guess.
Once we strengthen the processes and also expand the market gap to commercially, now if somebody can order from Europe, then we can ship it to them. I'm sure I bet you will be our first customer before joining the team of.
Okay, I will record reviewing for that. If so, we will post it in YouTube as well.
Okay.
Great. Well, friends, our interview is almost coming to an end today, but since Kectil is about authentic leadership, I cannot avoid question about it. So, Lennox, finally, can you please share your thoughts on who is an authentic leader for you, and do you consider yourself as such a leader? If so, then why?
Yeah, so let me start with the first question. I know I am an authentic leader. Why am I saying this? I think I'm a proactive leader. I think I understand and I listen to people's point of view before I make any decision. And I form great relationships based on the interests that I want to achieve as a leader. If somebody is in the business world, I make sure that as much as we are going to converse, we are going to network and interact, how am I going to respect their opinions and share my point? How am I going to listen to them before I make a point? And so I believe with the book, which has always guided me to be an authentic leader, which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, has really helped me to strengthen my leadership qualities, the things I believe in, the principles that I believe are part and parcel of who I am and who makes me as a leader. So I believe that an authentic leader is a leader who has people's not only opinions, but also who has people's needs and wants in their mind. A leader who is putting people forward before him. A leader who is always having a vision, because a vision guides you to where you want to be. And if you're an authentic leader, if you have a vision, not only for your team, but also for the society, for the company you want to create, for the people you want to change their lives, it's going to be easy for you to be able to look at the vision, look at where you are, and make an informed decision. There's a habit in in the book of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People called thinking with the end in mind. Like you start with the end as you go forward, already you have the end in mind. And so it really informs you. It really makes you to have that vision of an eagle. You're able to see far while you've not even started yet. So having that vision is also something that has really helped me. I have a vision to make sure to see that EcoBana one day will become one of the world's companies that are producing biodegradable sanitary towels. And I believe through the vision and the mission that we have as a company, we are able to get there. And so that is what I think about somebody being an authentic leader, and that is also some of the things that have really helped me to be a good leader that I am. And also through the Kectil program, I learned a lot. I learned something that a leader should seek to understand before understanding others. How do I need to understand the needs of my workers, the need of the employees, the needs of the society before I tell them my needs? So seek to be understood before um, understanding others, or before talking to others about your needs. So those are some of the things, and remaining disciplined, remaining commitment, remaining um, accountable, remaining respectful to the elderly, to people of my age, to people doing business with me, to my workers, to my employees. That has really helped me to maintain that relationship, and also just to be able to work with people and create a conducive work environment and a leadership environment for the people that I lead in my community and also at work. Yeah.
Wow, that's great and really inspiring. And in conclusion, what would you wish for young leaders and those who are going to start their own business?
I would say that it's not a walk in the park. Um, we all like to always hear, hey, I did this, hey, I did that, hey, I got this, hey, I have this customers, hey, I got this money. But most of us are not ready to face or to take the first step. Most of us are not ready to face the challenges when the company is making losses, when all of you are in the pit together as the co-founders, when it's dreading the late nights if you're working on the project, and the early mornings. And so I know it's going to be hard, but do it hard. It's going to be easy. It's going to be not easy. It's not going to be an easy journey, but do it hard, do it tired. Because if you have really the vision that you want people to see, if you want to bring a new idea to life, you want to bring a new product, a new company into the world, you must have to face some of these challenges, some of these fears, and also just be ready to learn, be ready to be corrected, be ready to get advices from people. Share your idea with somebody, tell them, what do you think, what can I improve, is this a good solution? Get feedbacks and build a brand that people are able to resonate with, build a business that people are able to come and join you with open arms. And so those are some of the things that I think somebody who is going to start should know. And also, most of us founders, we tend to usually to make this problem that we tend to assume that a problem exists. When you assume that people are suffering from this problem, later on when you bring the solution, you have the product, you realize that you're not able to sell because people don't need the solution that you're providing. So first of all, get to understand the needs of the people, not what they want, but what they really need at the moment. Why are you forming that company now? Have you understood the problem? So if you really understood the problem, provide a good solution and talk to people, get feedback, improve the solution, build a business, build a positive work culture. Um, Go through these processes, be able to understand your customers, get the feedbacks, and I think from that point through with the learnings that you'll be encountering along the way. Because as you go through this trouble, the the negative parts of business, the positive parts of the business, you will be learning each and every day. And so it's a learning process also. And I know with all those learning processes, you'll be able to create a good and a wonderful business.
Great. Thank you, Lennox, for today's conversation and a lot of useful information for young leaders around the world. I hope you, our friends, have had chance to take some notes or write down your points from our conversation today, because I'm sure that I will review it more and more times, because there was quite a lot of quotes and even points for even my work right now. So thank you, Lennox, one more time for today's conversation, for your time to talk today with me. And of course, our friends, don't forget to like this, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And expect one more and more useful topics and discussions in the near future, because we are doing it always for you.